Hello. Today I'd like to talk about self-evident truths. We get too tied up with complicated. I mean, everything's got to be complicated, and you need a PhD to explain it to you. And if you're not a PhD, you don't know what you're talking about. You got to have those letters behind your name, or you're dumb. But I'm here to say that self-evident truths are much more powerful than arcane, difficult, complicated thoughts, okay? So, a self-evident truth is simple, and you can prove it to yourself. That's why we call it self-evident. For example, there we go. I have this pen. If I drop this pen, is it going to fall up? Or is it going to fall down? It fell down. How many times can I do it in a row before it falls up? Well, it's always going to fall down. It's self-evident. 1 and 1 and 1 is 2. Self-evident. One of the most famous lines in all human literature is, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." Self-evident. You can figure it out yourself. Nobody has to tell you. So all men being created equal is a fundamental of a system of freedom. Freedom is about human beings. It's not about animals. It's not about chipmunks and squirrels. It's about human beings. So the system of freedom, because it starts out fundamentally simple, should stay fundamentally simple, self-evident, if you will. And the 3 basics of a system of freedom are competition, waste, and ease. Very simple concepts. You've dealt with them all your life. The thing that is different, that many people have had a hard time putting together, are competition and waste. They think of them as separate items, but really they're joined at the hip. I look at it like a seesaw. Competition goes up, waste goes down. Competition goes down, waste goes up. Is this self-evident? Prove it to yourself. When you work at something, when you compete at something, do you get better? Of course you get better. You're eliminating waste. You're eliminating unnecessary motion, movements, etc. Everybody who starts out learning something, it's awkward, it's tough, it's, uncomfortable. But the point is, as you compete, you're eliminating waste and you're getting better. You ask the people at the top of their profession, I don't care if it's music, football, sports, politics, anything, the people at the top of their profession got to the top of their profession by competing with the very best. For example, if you're an accomplished musician and you want to get better, do you go to the 6th grade and look at someone who's just learning how to play violin and competing with them? No, you don't get better that way. You only get better when other people that you're competing against make you get better. It's self-evident. The 3rd foundation, move to ease. Well, how do you hunt? You hunt, you put out food. National parks. Do not feed the animals. The animals are going to eat it. If it's easy, they're going to become dependent on it. If it's easy, I've got something that might shock you. Human beings are animals. Ha! How about that? If somebody gives us something for free and it's easy, guess what? We take it. Of course we do. We're human. Everything moves to ease. All right. It's these simple foundations that you can use to build. And you take these simple foundations that are self-evident and apply them to the marketplace. In the marketplace, let's say a modern economy. The economy took a long time to become modern. You've got roughly 32 million different businesses in America. And each one of those businesses is eliminating waste because they have to be competitive. The marketplace doesn't give them a choice. The choice is stay competitive or go out of business. That's the way the marketplace works. The way nature works. Nature says to its animals, well, it doesn't say it to the animals, okay. But if animals aren't competitive, guess what happens to them? They go away too. If you don't compete, you go away. So back to the marketplace, competition eliminates waste. Every business in business has to continually eliminate waste because of competition. Their competitors are getting better and better. So when you have 32 million different businesses all eliminating waste, what happens to your society? Well, all of a sudden it becomes prosperous because you are getting the best deal across the board that you could possibly get. And there's no laws, no dictates, no government that says this is the way it has to work. It just works because it's self-evident. All right, now let's go to government. We'll use self-evident again. How many governments do you have? You only have one. Where's the competition? There is no competition. What does that mean? It means there's no mechanism to eliminate waste. Self-evident. If there's no mechanism to eliminate waste, guess what government's going to do? They're going to waste. Okay, so this is all self-evident, all simple. And people have spent years trying to figure out why government always screws things up. Well, it's the nature of government. There's no competition. Now let's go to the marketplace. You screw something up, guess what happens? You go out of business. It does it automatically. It's a beautiful thing. So anyway, you can use these terms, these concepts, to go on and on. Welfare, for example. We thought in Lyndon Johnson's Great Society, welfare would be a temporary thing. Get people over the hump, get them on their feet, welfare would go away. Instead, it exploded. Why is that? Because people moved to ease. It was much easier getting welfare than going to work. Duh. So I will leave you with this. Think about it self-evidently. You don't need a professor. You don't need a PhD. You don't need letters behind your name. You can figure it out knowing the foundations. Knowing the foundations, there's permutations, and you can get everything. And you'll see how simple the world is if you understand the foundations. All for now. Talk to you then.